Walk us through those particular programs. You made a mention of the list of the many programs and referrals and interagency referrals, but you mentioned the CBBI. If you can just talk a little bit about what that is, and me as a client, what can I expect from that program?
Well, our community-based violent intervention program is more a program of preventing things from happening.
Sure.
So we have staff that goes into certain schools, and we create that safe passageway for them to go home. We go into the schools and we talk about things that did not happen yet. We're trying to be proactive.
Sure.
We want to be there. So at this time, this year, what we're doing is we're getting a better relationship with the schools where we'll be inside. So my team will be in there having lunch, walking the halls, just trying to become a part of. Once we feel the kids are comfortable, we'll get the call, like, hey, it might be a fight outside. So now we can stop that.
Sure.
So we try to become a part of the school's family, not taking over, but just to become a part of, and as a support system, and then they'll support us. With family engagement, I have my staff in the courts every day. Why? Because there's so many kids that's going back and forth. And sometimes the judge doesn't sentence or have that child come to our program. But if we're able to take the other things that we have here at UCC to help that parent, we do that.
Right.
So we try to be there as a source of resources for the parents and for the judge to know that we're serious about what we're doing here. We give them weekly reports. We pick our kids up and we bring them back. So if I could just be in detail.
Yeah, please.
When we bring them in and we do our onboarding with the kids, first thing we ask them is, where do you live? Are you affiliated with anything on the outside? We take that information in because the day that child comes, from the time they get into our van, our counseling starts. Our driver has knowledge of the areas where he comes, so we have to be understanding of what areas not to go through. We have to be have an understanding of who not to put in the cars together, because you got to remember, it's Essex County. They come from all over,
Right.
So we have to make sure that every little thing is looked at and abided by to create that safety space.
Yeah, no, it's important because we are responsible for building not only that family atmosphere in this building, but also um, uh, encouraging the family to build off of what we've
Exactly.
created, right? And so you mentioned identifying what the family needs. Uh, we touched on a little bit of our food pantry. You know, we have a very large and substantial food emergency supplement program, food pantry, mobile feeding program. We also have community refrigerators throughout the city. And because we know that a hungry child presents different challenges, either in the school or out on the street. So we're trying to make sure that we at least check one of the boxes off for one of the what those challenges may be.
But Craig, I
And
think you should also mention
sure,
that we do have a refrigerator here for our seniors,
that's right.
where they have a code to go in and take as much food as they want,
That's right.
and it's constantly being replenished anytime there's
The Ujama fridge.
yes.
So yeah, we definitely need to shout out our partners at the Coalition to End Homelessness, Hungry. I'm sorry, Coalition to End Hunger, and they have a program called Ujama Refrigerators, and we have one here located at the Westside Park Community Center. And yes, and it's specifically for seniors because they have different nutritional needs than the other population. And so that refrigerator is open here specifically for the seniors, and it has nutritious and quite delicious meals and food options there. So thank you again for mentioning that. And so, what does when we pull all of that together, right? The youth, the families, the senior support, and then outside of all of that, there's also the recreation that we do here at the community center here. We also have the events, and I've seen this place hold 500-600 people at our events. What is success? Like, you know, sometimes in the world of nonprofit social services, it feels like we're that hamster on the wheel. We're just running, right? and we're constantly picking up and trying to resolve some problems, but then there's always a new problem ahead. So, what would you say is the successes? What's the battery in your back or your staff? What are they? What are you guys most looking forward to when you're working with the clients that you work with?
Seeing someone satisfied,
Seeing them
being
satisfied.
able to provide them with the needs that they have. We just did a cookie coats and cocoa,
Yes,
and there
very
was a
nice.
family of five that was living under a bridge that came in. And when they came in, we were able to give them all brand new coats.
Hmm.
Not only that, but because the city of Newark was here collaborating with us,
Shout out to the city of Newark. They've
yes,
been really big partners for us
they were able to step in and find housing from that for that family. So
because they came
no,
to you
because they
to the
came,
cookies, coats, and cocoa
yeah,
event. Yeah, we need to just applaud that because
yeah.
you know, yeah,
That's what
yeah,
keeps us going,
that's
because we know that that one family, there's 50 to 100 more out there that we have to get to.
that's right.
So if we say success, success is never ending. We're not there yet.
Right. Wow. So for those in the audience, what you will learn about not only UCC but me as well is that I am absolutely sometimes speechless about the challenges that our community are going through. But I'm also very proud of this agency and stories like that. And we, not to brag too much, but I hear those stories, those types of stories all the time, and that's the battery in my back, right? And I always say to the staff or whoever listens that the budget is what keeps me up at night, but it's the work and the staff, the team here, the people that we meet at our doors that come in through our programs. Those are the people that get me up early in the morning and ready for work. And and I know that I share that kind of enthusiasm with the rest of the staff, or we kind of feed off of each other. So thanks again, Mr. Maynor, for sharing that. Um, and I hope that we have more opportunities to do that in this community. So not to keep getting off, but I wanted to make sure we acknowledge that that's a very successful story. If they were living under the bridge, they came for coats and they got a house, got some housing. You couldn't write a better story. Um, so how do you find that your program, the specific ones that you run, help families, seniors or youth, um, establish some kind of stability in their life, right? You talked about these young people who are, court involved, or maybe in the school and trying to keep away from gangs or other negative activities. How do you find your program has been able to do that? And if so, if you have any examples, please.
Well, the best way I can say is because my team, the makeup of my team is the makeup of our community.
Right.
I have people on my team that have been parts of a gang, may not have did time in jail, but they have a greater understanding of what those kids that are being pulled in or that's in a gang
Mm-hmm.
is going through. Those are the conversations that I can't have, but I can always pull my team member in.
That's right.
Then we have some kids that have no worries in the world, but they're a little bit unsure as to which direction to go. We and the team can now have a conversation with them. I think if you can remember, we had a class of young kids that was actually day trading,
That's right. The financial
their
literacy.
financial
Yes,
literacy program,
that's
and
right.
they were day trading. And I brought one young man into the meeting, and he explained everything. And I believe some of the board members was amazed
That's right.
of what he was saying. What we tend to do, not only with our seniors, not only with our juveniles, not only with our families, we do something that nobody else do. And I always say that in order for us to really be successful, we cannot be cookie cut. We have to be different. We challenge them. We don't give anything. We make them earn it. So when we have our family engagement, yeah, the program is for the kids to get them in, and we start giving them the talk and the mentoring. But once a month, the whole family has to come and sit with us also. And that gives us an opportunity to find out where the break is, where's the problem. And it lets the parents know, I do have a friend over there. I
Right.
can call. So we make it comfortable for them to ask for help
Right.
because we don't judge.
Yeah, no, that's a great point too. Again, it's building the family not only in these walls, but also with the family at their home and that community that
Yes.
I want to say does a community hug with all of our participants. So I'm glad that you said that. What makes you proud? What when I say I go to bed late, um, worried about the budget, but I'm out of the bed early because I'm so eager to do the work we do. Do you have any moments like that you want to share with us?
Well, you know what? I don't like to dwell so much on our court mandated kids, but what makes me happy is when a child has to go before the judge, because anytime they have to go, we go.
Okay.
Whether we stand or we sit in the back, but we're there to support that kid. And what makes me proud is when that judge said, okay, you could take the bracelet off him. He's good. And we
Because of
stand
their interaction
because
with
of
you
their
guys.
interaction with us, because we
Right.
stood there, because my team member, Mr. Alfred Dill, who is very good at what he does, is there and he's able to tell a judge, little Johnny did well. He's been there every day. He's been doing what you asked him to do. I have no problems with him.
Shout out to Alfred. Yeah, he's one of the newer
He's one of the
members,
newer members and
but he's
he's
jumped
committed.
in.
He's committed.
Good. Yeah, that's again support, right?
Support.
Support not only in these walls at the house, in the community. All right. And what are some of the challenges that you or your department are facing?
Well, it's always because of who I am. It's always so much more I want to do. And, financially right now, we're in a situation where, we have a president or we have someone in the federal government that's not funding the real true needs that we have here. The one thing I can say is that we look at the needs and we're looking to challenge the needs. We don't want to sugarcoat, but what we do is we don't let that become an excuse of us not performing. We find a way around to get it done. The only challenge that I have is that basically, honestly, I can't tell you a challenge because we look for challenges
Right.
and we ask for them because it keeps us where we need to be.
Right.
We always say that we're in second place because whenever we ever say that we're in first, then that means we slow down.
You're getting
We
comfortable.
get
And
comfortable, and you
right.
can't grow if you're comfortable.
That's right. That's right. I've heard you use that same term. And and when we talk about comfortable and challenges, you know, the community need is growing,
Yes.
right? And so, what, if any, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, what aspect of this community do you see, if you had a crystal ball, you see that we need to redirect some of our focus on, maybe create a new lane to be able to serve that community? Is there an upcoming challenge in this community that you wanted to point out?
I think I would like to refocus a little bit, not so much on our kids going to college, because college is not for everybody. I think we need to start focusing a little bit more on trades
Mm-hmm.
because that's where a lot of them would do great at.
Sure.
So if we can look at that and make the offer of both, I think we'll get a great response from it because our thing here is we meet the kids where they are.
Yeah, yeah. That's that. You know, it's funny. You and I spent some time this weekend at the NAACP, the Hudson County NAACP Martin Luther King breakfast
Hmm.
event, which you hosted as the president of the Hudson
Jersey City,
County, Jersey City. I'm sorry, the
NAACP.
Jersey City NAACP. And while sitting there, I just happened to bump into one of my former high school teachers. He was teaching shop. His name is Mr. Morales. And so when you talk about trade, right, and that's why I'm bringing this up, he was a great teacher, and uh, and I know that from my experiences with him, I had an avenue, and there was a fork in the road, right? There were three prongs to that fork. It was trouble, it was trade or
Hmm.
college,
Hmm.
and I actually chose to go to college. But at least I knew that I had another option outside of college and not be in jail, right? And so, um, and you're right, college I think is a great um, option for many of our youth, but it shouldn't be the only option because there are some great minds. If we're talking about being productive members of society, you don't necessarily need a college degree to do that. Um, but it all comes down to putting the correct options in front of our young people.
Yes.
And so that, I'd be remiss to forget to mention that United Community Corporation has two job training programs that we operate. One is our Youth Build program, which is a national, federally funded job training program. 16 to 24-year-olds can get all of their OSHA 15, OSHA 30, their construction trade licenses under our program, as well as, probably more importantly, their high school diploma. And then we have a youth uh, job training program called New Jersey Build, and that program focuses on women and minority in the construction trade. And so we're, as an agency, not only creating these avenues for college, but also trade. And hopefully, through the work that Mr. Mainor and his team are doing, we're eliminating that third lane of more trouble and more consequences for bad decisions and actions. So, thank you for giving me that opportunity to say, talk about our trades program with our young people, and shout out to Jacqueline and Tasmia and Anton and the rest of the team at the Youth Build, NJ Build program. They're doing great work over there. And hopefully they will be a part of this series that we're doing to help the community understand what UCC is, who we are, and who we want to serve. And so I think that we're uh, getting close to wrapping up, but I have just a few more questions
Sure.
for you, just so we can, get this information out there. Why is it important for our community stakeholders to invest in us? Right, we are an agency that's dependent on community support, financially, partnerships. But why would, if you were talking to a potential stakeholder, what would be your pitch to me to help this agency?
Well, I would say to a stakeholder that, there's many investments that you can make. You can make investments into buildings. You can make investments in different businesses. But I truly believe that if you make an investment into a child, the return will be so much more greater
Yeah.
because you get it twofold. You get someone that may be in a position to one day run your business or work at your job, but you also want to get someone that's going to be a part of the community that's going to make sure the community can thrive. Because if you don't invest in the kids, if you don't invest in the future, then you have none.
Right. We are not throwaways. Right.
Exactly.
This is a strong community, strong heart, um, incredibly talented young people and older people. You and I are older, so I'm gonna say,
Well,
they're,
not.
yeah.
I'm not.
This used to be my babysitter. We'll talk about that. um, but yeah, this community is definitely worth the investment. And if you want to come in and you want to build a skyscraper, great. But look at the community resources. There are definitely people who can help fill some of those trade needs that you have. There are definitely folks in our community that can help with some of those other ancillary needs that your investment will need and thrive on. Not just to buy your goods, but also help promote and market and support
Yes.
your community efforts here in the city of Newark. And we're really proud that we're helping that next generation here at this program do that. Um, how would you expand your program if you could? I know that you talked about um, focusing not only on college but the other opportunities educationally. But is there a program that you had in your mind that you would want to open the doors because you see a need in this community
Well, I
that's
believe that
underfilled?
all of the kids that come in through here, whether we was to create a juvenile justice system right here, one-stop program where they can come in, I would love to have the kids that can't go to school. We should have the teachers here where they can come here and still get their education.
Right.
Why? Because we can make it happen. We can have the CBVI program continue to go. We can have our family engagement going. We can have our program for the kids from the 21st century come in. Because what we tend to do is when we get that group of kids that's a little bit older that has had the bumps in the road,
Right.
we don't bring in too many mentors. We try to create mentors. So if we can show them the need of why we need them to be on the right um, trail by letting little Johnny look at him, he may change.
Mhm.
And I say that only to say this, that maybe when little Johnny don't see him, he's going to do wrong. But soon as someone see him, he'll straighten up a little bit because he know there's a responsibility. So we teach these kids that you have a responsibility for those that's coming up behind you. And if you don't live up to it, they're going to imitate what you're doing, and we're going to have this constant misbehavior going on. Does it work all the time? No.
Yeah.
But does it work sometime? Yeah.
Sure. And we know that kids can talk to kids differently than the old guys in the room, right? And
Right.
so it sounds like you're relying on not only teaching them to be teachers, but also teaching them to be responsible uh, caregivers for their community.
Yes.
Is that what I'm
Yes.
okay? And that's a great way to put that. So I don't know. Do you have anything else that maybe I forgot to ask or we didn't get to touch on?
Well, I don't know. I think that what you've asked pretty much encompasses half of what UCC does.
Yeah.
I think that if you really sit down and look at it, it's not just an agency that provides those different resources. You have to understand that UCC provide people that meet people where they are.
That's right.
They meet people, and there's no judgment.
No joke.
And they meet people that's going to stay with them until that person say, "I'm satisfied now."
Yeah.
When you do the food pantry and we give them the food, the long lines, we don't make people feel humiliated. We're out there greeting them. We're talking to them. If someone needs to sit down, we give them the chairs. We bring them in, and it's such a warm feeling to see people come in, get a bag of food, and then say, "Can I get an extra?" And we say, "Yes."
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. I tell the story all the time, and I'm full of stories, and forgive me, but I was, my mother was this single parent. There were three of us. I'm a twin, so there was two. There was a set of twins and a younger brother, and we were on the line, and we got at the time it was Share, was the food distribution service that we participated in. So I am not only the president, I was once a client
Mm.
of these types of services. So it's important for me in the leadership, and I want to just say that broadly, that everyone here in this agency seems to understand. They get it, that you should not be feeling a lack of dignity when you need help. And I feel really strongly about it because of the way I was brought up. We are related, and I know that this is not some training that we had to go to. This is something that we've been through in our lives. So if you're watching this, or you know somebody who should be watching this, and they need services, please tell them that this is a safe place, no judgment. If we can't do it in house, we have plenty of friends and partners and other stakeholders in this community that will help us help you help yourself. And so, if you have an opportunity to share that information, please do that. And if you want to watch more of these series, we will do more of this as we come. And thank you for
Thank you for
Charles
having me.
Mainor for sitting with us. with me today and going through this. And I also want to point everyone to our website. It's www.uccnewark.org. That's uccnewark.org. We are here not only talking the talk, but walking the walk. And we're really proud of the work that we're doing. And thank you, Mr. Mainor,
Thank
for
you for having me.
doing this again. I appreciate everybody. Goodbye.